Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lauren. I do random content on this channel. I have state testing this week. On Thursday, I've got to test the star. How great. I heard that all today, like throughout my TikTok For You page. I heard that those who went to take it online, like literally the site was completely down for those who took it online. And they got like exempt from it today, but they still gotta take it. So if you're one of those people, congratulations, but you still gotta take it though. That's the problem. Why wouldn't they cancel the test? I'm just wondering that. Like, why wouldn't they cancel the test? We're all in the pandemic. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. But I just wanted to bring that up. I've got my test on Thursday, and then I've got my mock for my AAPI World History test on Friday. So yeah, I've got that. So I'm filming. Today's Tuesday when I'm filming. So yeah. So as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about an urban legend I actually heard about a couple of years ago, but it slipped my mind for like 5 years until I was scrolling on TikTok one time, like a couple nights ago, and I saw this video. Now, I did want to completely talk about this because there was some stuff that I want to debunk from this video. First off, this is an urban legend surrounding Brownsville, Texas, and this is from the Camp Lulu Sams. This is a supposed urban legend in which is very dark, but is very, very easily able to be debunked. You know? So anyway, I'm going to get started with this video, explain the urban legend a bit, and debunk it for you guys in which how this urban legend actually played out. So the urban legend of Camp Lulu Sams, I was told about this when I was a 5th grader. This was actually a story surrounding something I'm going to bring up earlier. But surrounding Camp Lulu Sams is this camp located in Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville is a place around the border, and I'm kind of familiar with that area. So basically how this story goes is that in the 1950s, Camp Lulu Sams was given to the Girl Scouts, in which the Girl Scouts would go over there. That would be like their little trip, stuff like that. They were campers over there sometimes. And how this story plays out is that in the 60s or the 70s, there was this camp counselor who went so deranged and so psychotic that he killed about 8 girls in that campsite. It's really not specific on how many girls died. It ranges from 3 to 8 in like a lot of different scenarios of it. And so how it goes is that after these murders took place, the camp was abandoned. And it had been abandoned ever since. And you can still hear the spirits of the girls still there. And you can hear like their screams of what happened that night. I can completely debunk this, and I would have done it in that TikTok video I showed you guys earlier, but I don't know, it would have been too long, so I decided to make a whole YouTube video on it. That because I do remember hearing about this urban legend when I was in 5th grade. I did mention that earlier. So basically, how I can debunk this urban legend is that 1, Camp Lulu Sams is not abandoned. It actually just got changed. It changed its name. So it is true, in the 1950s, Camp Lulu Sams was given to the Girl Scouts, in which that was a camp that they went to, an all-girls camp, just like in the urban legend how it states. However, no such murder took place there, and the camp was not abandoned in the 60s or 70s. It was abandoned in the 90s, and that was because the Girl Scouts didn't have the funds to continue using Camp Lulu Sams. So it was abandoned for about good 20 years until the school district IDEA, which is my school district, bought the camp and turned it into Camp Rio. This was about in, I think, 2013, 2014. You're probably wondering, oh, what happened? Like, oh, there could have been something that happened in the 90s there, stuff like that. You have a point. You could be right, but why would the urban legend say it's in the 60s? And another backing I can have for this, that it wasn't abandoned after the 60s, was that my mom was a Girl Scout. She actually went to Camp Lulu Sams in the 70s or the 80s. I'm not really specific on which one it was, but she went there. And if the murders took place in the 60s, and the story says that the camp was abandoned, after the murders took place, then how was it that my mom was able to go, you know? So that can also completely debunk that happened. Going back to this, Camp Rio is actually what Idea bought. Idea bought the land of Camp Lulu Sams and turned it into Camp Rio. You cannot spend the night at Camp Rio. I went to Camp Rio 5 years ago. It was for a field trip. Usually the Idea schools take different grade levels over there, and they do these different camp activities such as like canoeing, archery, and there was this one particular camp activity I'm going to talk about right now, in which it had to do with a GPS. I completely forgot what it was called, but how this one particularly went was that you were given like these coordinates, and you had to find like a box with something in it, and then you would have to tell whoever was in charge that you found it, and usually you were in a group. So I remember when I was in 5th grade, my group and I, when we played it the second time, we were going to go get the coordinates, and we were trying to get them, and they were past this sign that said stop. The sign was put in place for the younger kids because, to my knowledge, 4th and 5th graders could go past the sign. Anybody under the grade level of 4th grade could not go past the sign, right? So when you went past the sign, the bunkers were there, and like the urban legend states, these girls were killed in like the bunkers. Now, I don't know if it was the specific bunkers or whatever, because this is the photo that is mainly associated with the story. The bunkers do not look like that. To my remembrance, the bunkers were red, like a very dull red, because you know they had been sitting there for years, and they were like double like this. So like you had like, of course, the double beds like that. You know how in some camp stuff you'll see it like that, right? It could have been dull red or like a brownish red, but I think it's a dull red. I could have sworn it was red anyway. So I remember we went over there, and like everybody was saying, hey, you heard the story about the girls who died in these bunkers and stuff like that. But like I said, it was an urban legend, and this was usually told to like scare a lot of people. But I had completely forgot about this story until I saw it on TikTok, and I really did want to talk about this. So I'm not done with the story, actually. There is something that can actually prove this story happened, but not at Camp Lulu Sams. So the urban legend surrounding Camp Lulu Sams may not be true, but there actually was a case in which in Oklahoma, in an all-girls camp, instead of there being 8 girls that died, 3 girls actually died in this camp, in which some random guy, it wasn't specified or speculated who it was because the guy was never caught, they snuck into the bunkers and killed the girls. It was unknown if it was a counselor or just some random person. But anyway, this was an actual story that happened. So this particular murder case was called the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders that took place in June 13th, 1977. How the story goes is that at a Camp Scout in Mays County, Oklahoma, the victims were 3 Girl Scouts ranging from the ages 8 to 10, and they were raped and murdered in their bunkers. This particular camp was abandoned after these murders. So I don't get how the whole story surrounding Camp Lulu Sams basically took inspiration from a camp that happened in Oklahoma. Camp Lulu Sams is in Texas. How did it come from a story in Oklahoma to bring it into a camp that nothing like that ever happened? But of course, there are people who do speculate that happened. There have been people. Before Idea bought the land, to my knowledge, there were people who did sneak onto the abandoned land at Camp Lulu Sams. And how the ending of that urban legend goes is that supposedly, if anybody does sneak on into the land, there is some guy who will literally shoot anybody who tries to disrupt the girls who are resting there. But like I said, the story at Camp Lulu Sams, the urban legend, is completely untrue. I just decided to debunk it today. But the story of the actual murders that took place at a Girl Scout camp are true, and it happened in Oklahoma. So that's what I really wanted to do today. I wanted to do somewhat of a mix of an urban legend with a true crime case. I thought that kind of would have been a bit cool to talk about, especially since I haven't done any true crime cases since like January, about 2 months ago. So yeah, I guess that's it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what else you guys want me to talk about on this channel. This was a random video I really wanted to talk about because I really did want to debunk this on my channel, just, you know, just for fun. And if any of you guys didn't even know about this story, Now you do. You know about this story, about the fake urban legend that is actually surrounding a real true crime case. So I just wonder though, I still wonder, how did a true crime case from Oklahoma just make its way down into Texas, like South Texas, at a campsite that had nothing to do with it? Especially if you just look it up, you can literally find that the urban legend of Camp Lulu Sams is completely untrue, but the actual story is true in Oklahoma. So like, I don't know, it kind of just questions me a little bit, just very little. So anyway, that's all I wanted to do today, just talk about that. Make sure to have a great day or night depending on where you live. If you are taking the STAR test, I wish you luck. I gotta do it, you know. We gotta stick together, we gotta take it, even though they should have canceled it, you know, but they didn't, so we have to deal with it. Yeah, good luck to that. And yeah, have a great day or night depending on where you live, and I'll see you guys next time on my channel. Bye guys.